Hey there. Here's what you've got. I'm just gonna actually just start straight up. This is tonight's homework. But unless if you watch the video, right here where it says that you are going to need to draw a line plot, if you don't watch the video, you don't know what they're talking about, right? So here goes the video. So here's what we're looking at. This is lesson 1 for module 4. And it says that a meteorologist set up rain gauges at various locations around the city and recorded rainfall amounts in the table below, and used the data in the table to create a line plot using 1/8 inches. So we can look on here and see what's the biggest measurement. So we can see on here that the biggest measurement is 1 1/4. So you don't have to go too far over. So we're going to make these so that you've got eighths of inches as you go along. So I'm going to change the color and we'll make our marks black to start with. So this right here, of course, is 0. And then we'll make this one a 1. And now let's go ahead and move to quarters. So I'm going to get a different color for quarters. We'll go green for quarters. So we know that if this is half, right? This is half of that. Here's a quarter. Here's our half. Here's a quarter. So we can label this 1/2. We can label this right here. This is 1/4. We can label this one 3/4. And then 1 and 1/4. And here's our 1 1/2, which we won't really need at the end of the game. Now it's saying that we actually have to go in eighths. So I'm going to change the color and we'll go pink for eighths. So in eighths, if you've got something that's broken into 4 equal pieces, well, if we break it into 8 equal pieces, it's going to break it down so that these right here are halves of those. So you have to go half again as much. There's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, right? 3/4, 6/8. If we double them both, same thing. 7/8, 8/8, of course, is 1, 8/8. And then here's 1 and an 1/8. 2/8 is the same as a 4th. Here's 3/8 right here. Okay? So let's go ahead and label these guys, at least a couple of them. So we know that this is 1/8. This guy is 2/8. So this guy is 3/8. Now let's take a look at what we've got going here. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit on my screen so we can have the chart. So when we look at this, let's go ahead and just start with what we've got. And here's what a line chart or a line gauge, so what we're looking at here, line plot. Location number 1 is at 1/8. And so I'm going to get even a different color for our kind of indicators. We're going to go blue for our indicators. So it says that we've got location number 1, that they had a 1/8 of rainfall at location 1. Location 2, it was 3/8. We'll mark it down. And then we had location 3 was 3/4, so that's right here. And then we say 4 was also 3/4, so we can just double that up and we'll put another acknowledgement right there. Number 5, location 5 is 1/4, so that's right here. They haven't had one that big yet. And then that was location 5. Location 6 is 1 and 1/4. Here's 1 and 1/4 right there. Now the next one, 7, is 1/8 all over again. And then 8 is 1/4. Location 9 is a solid 1. The very last location, location 10, is 1/8. There we go. So which location received the most rainfall? So we look along this little chart here, and now we can see right across here, only one of them had 1 1/4. So let's look down our chart, and we can see right here that it was number 6 that got 1 1/4. So we'll write here, 6. Which location received the least? Oh, there's a bunch that received the least. So anything that got an 1/8 is the least. So that's location number 1 got it, comma, because we know there's 3 of them. Location 7 got an 8th. And the last location, location 10, also got an 8th. Which rainfall measurement was the most frequent? Well, which one showed up the most? This one got 3 of them. So it was 1/8 is the one that got the most repeated in our locations. What was the total rainfall in inches? Now this is a little bit challenging, but what we can do is kind of look through and go, okay, let's look at the eighths. Here's 1/8, 1/8 plus 3/8 plus another 8 plus another 8. Now if we go 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 3 is 5, and 1 more is 6. So we have 6/8. Now let's look at the fourths. Here's a fourth, 3 of them, 3/4, 3 more fourths. Here's a 1/4, and let's see here. Let's go, here's another fourth. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we have 8/4. 8/4. We can't add those together because you got fourths and eighths, but we can adjust these because we've learned how to make equivalent fractions. This one is 1 1/4, and this is just 1. So that's going to be 2 1/4. So now we've got 2 1/4. So now we can combine these, right? That's going to be 2 9/4 all together. We have to turn it into eighths. So to get into eighths, we're going to have to double this, right? We double the 4, so we'll double the 9. So here's what we're adding to that. We're adding a 2, definitely. And then we also have the fourths become eighths. The 9 gets doubled also, so it becomes 18. So now when we combine all of this, we know we're going to have definitely or keep our solid 2. 6 plus 18, right? 6 plus 18, 18, 19, 20, and there's 4 left over. So it's going to be 24/8. And you know 8 times 3 is 24. And we had this 2 right here, so 3 plus 2. So there was 5 inches of rainfall. So here's what you got for your homework. Here it is. Right here. And I'm going to make it a little bigger. Draw a line plot. Ignore this, please, unless you really want to do this one. Draw a line plot for the following data measures in inches. This is almost exactly like what we just did. So what you're going to have to start with is your line for your number line, your line plot. And then you got to think about what is the smallest quantity in here. Oh, it's quarters. But this one doesn't go just up to 1 1/4. This one goes all the way up to, looks like 3 1/2 is their biggest. 3 3/4 maybe? Nope, that's 2 3/4. So you're going to, oh, there's your 3 3/4. That's your biggest one. So you may as well go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go, here's my halves, here's my fourths, and then go through and kind of chart what happens with all those data. Okay? See you tomorrow.